Great Slackers is May the 12th, 2016. And I'm over here on my AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And check this out. The Georgia woman's lawsuit, dating site matched me with a rapist. And this is by Alexa Stevens. So for all you ladies out there, on these dating websites, I'll come back to this in the end, but this is something you want to be aware of. A Georgia woman is suing an online dating site for fixing her up with a sexual predator, a Cobb County man who was later sentenced to life in prison for raping the woman during their first encounter. Devin Richard Hartman had raped at least 4 women he met online before creating a profile on OkCupid.com in May 2014, according to the lawsuit, which was filed last week in Fulton County State Court. Hartman, whose online profile was Midwest is Best 13, said his name was Zach Anderson, an Ohio State University graduate who worked for a medical supply company, all part of a persona he created to meet women, according to police. Hartman is serving consecutive life sentences after this conviction on rape and sodomy charges. The suit alleges that OkCupid.com and its parent companies should have known Hartman was a predator and should not have permitted him to use the site. Online dating sites are popular with adults of all ages, and the number of people turning to the internet to find romance has risen steadily during the past decade. According to Pew Research Institute findings, as many as 1 in 10 people now use online platforms, though only about 5% of those in the committed relationship or married say they met their partner online. Cases such as the one involving Hartman are rare, according to Michael Kaiser, Executive Director of the National Cybersecurity Alliance. There are precautions to take to stay safe, even things as simple as conducting your own online search of the prospective date's name, he said. If you're going to be going out with anyone, you have to take the time to get to know them, Kaiser said. Always have your antenna up. If someone is super eager to meet you, that should be a red flag. Most definitely, that should be a red flag. Attorneys for the plaintiff and defendants did not respond to requests Tuesday for comment on the Fulton County case. The plaintiff is identified by name in the lawsuit, but the Atlanta Journal-Constitution does not identify victims of sexual assault. According to the recent lawsuit, Hartman contacted the woman on June 11th, 2014, because two shared a high match percentage, a formula determined by OkCupid after those creating profiles answered a series of questions. 9 days later, the two met on their first date. The woman later told police. The woman, then 26, told police she drank 6 beers before her date dropped her off at her car, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution previously reported. The next thing she remembers was waking up on her own doorstep without her keys, cell phone, or underwear, she told police. At Grady Memorial Hospital, an exam determined the woman had been sexually assaulted, and the woman called police. Through DNA testing and phone records, investigators were able to track down the woman's attacker several months later, but his name wasn't Zach Anderson. Atlanta police arrested Hartman, who lived in Mableton, on March 2nd, 2015, on rape and aggravated sodomy charges, the AJC reported. The woman told police she believed she was drugged and couldn't remember most of what happened that night, a police report said. Hartman was married to his second wife at the time of his arrest and was the father of 3, according to a modified divorce agreement filed in Cobb County Superior Court. In December 2015, he was convicted after a week-long trial and sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, the AJC reported. During the trial, 4 of the women testified they were also Hartman's victims. He began serving his sentence at the Coffee Correctional Facility in Nichols in January. The plaintiff in the lawsuit requested a trial and is seeking unspecified damages for injuries, medical expenses, lost wages, and mental anguish. Kaiser, who was not involved in the lawsuit, said predators such as Hartman may be hard to identify behind online profiles. Quote, a little dose of skepticism wouldn't hurt a relationship that's really going to happen, he said. Take your time and see what happens and trust your instincts. I concur. And there's some more dating tips and everything down below. I'll link to this in the description box so you can read that. But what I wanted to get in on was, some of these dating sites, make such a big deal about finding you a match. And so you fill out this questionnaire and you match yourself up with someone. And I'm pretty sure the intention of all that is, just fine. I mean, these companies are in the industry of helping people get together and find love or whatnot. But it just goes to show you that you cannot rely on a computer algorithm to match you with someone. When you go on these online dating sites, you got people catfishing now, hiding behind profiles, using old pictures, lying about being married or their occupation. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on. And so you really just want to be more careful out here. You want to take the time to fill people out. You want to take the time to get to know people. You don't want to do like this woman and go to a bar, slam 6 beers, which he probably laced because when she woke up, she didn't know where she was at, how she got there, and what all transpired. And this happens quite a bit. So be careful out there and don't rely on a dating site's claims that, we're the top in our field to match and we've had more successful relationships and all that. I don't buy into all that. Trust your instincts, like this article was saying, and get out there and meet people on your terms and get to know them over time. All right, that's going to do it for this article. I'll catch you in the next one.